the rivers run free. Kings and queens ruled in majesty. Gold in our hands, wisdom untold. Stories of empires carved in stone. But the ships came sailing, chains in their wake. Tore us from home, left sorrow and ache. Yet the spirit stayed unshaken, strong.
Good evening, everyone. This is
the
the 7 show for you. Will again.
we fight,
We are
we stand as
in the
one.
month of Cactus.
Through the darkest night, we chase the sun. Every tear, every chain, every shattered dream, we rebuild, we believe, we reign
Want you
supreme.
kind of I don't know why
Fields of sorrow, hands
Now,
in
this
pain, built the world,
we are
yet
here
bore no gain.
talk about
Sung our
it.
songs through
We
blood
are
and
here
sweat,
to really
dreaming of days we
back
rise
history
up
moment.
yet.
We're
From
gonna
the
be
cotton fields to the
here
railroad
none of
tracks,
us
to
want
whips and
to
wounds, we
have
never turn back. Harriet ran, tough men led, freedom called, we forge ahead. We rise, we fight, we stand as one. Through the darkest night, we chase the sun. Every fear, every shame, every shattered dream, we rebuild, we believe, we reign
Just great.
supreme.
God bless you.
Close
Let's
us out, we could
get back
stand, march
history
to
moment.
free this land. Malcolm spoke and the people knew our history is shaped by what we do. We rise, we fight, we stand as one. Through the darkest night, we chase the sun. Every tear, every chain, every shattered dream, we rebuild, we believe, we reign supreme. Black history is more than pain. It's joy, it's love, it's breaking chains. Past the future, hear the call. We are here, we've conquered all. From the motherland where the rivers run free, kings and queens rule in majesty. Gold in our hands, wisdom untold. Stories of empires carved in stone. But the ships came sailing, chains in their wake. Tore us from home, left sorrow and ache. Yet the spirit stayed unshaken, strong. A fire inside that still burns on. We rise, we fight, we stand as one. Through the darkest night, we chase the sun. Every tear, every chain, every shattered dream, we rebuild, we believe, we reign supreme. Fields of sorrow, hands in pain, built the world yet bore no gain. Sung our songs through blood and sweat, dreaming of days we'd rise up yet. From the cotton fields to the railroad tracks, the whips and wounds, we never turn back. Harriet ran, Tubman led, freedom called, we forge ahead. We rise, we fight, we stand as one. Through the darkest night, we chase the sun. Every tear, every chain, every shattered dream, we rebuild, we believe, we reign supreme. We reign supreme. Cruise aside so we could stand. Martin marched to free this land. Malcolm spoke and the people knew our history shaped by what we do. We rise, we fight, we stand as one. Through the darkest night, we chase the sun. Every tear, every chain, every shattered dream, we rebuild, we believe, we reign supreme. Like history is more than pain. It's joy, it's love, it's breaking chains. Past the future, hear the call. We are here, we've conquered all.
God bless share this video for us. God bless you.
We rise, we fight, we stand as one. Through the darkest night, we chase the sun. Every tear, every chain, every shattered dream, we rebuild, we believe, we reign supreme. We rise, we fight, we stand as one. Through the darkest night, we chase the sun. Every tear, every chain, every shattered dream, we rebuild, we believe, we reign supreme. We reign supreme. We we rebuild, we believe, we reign supreme. We rebuild, we believe, we reign supreme. Two, three, woo!
From the motherland where the rivers run free, kings and queens ruled in majesty. Gold in our hands, wisdom untold, stories of empires carved in stone. But the ships came sailing, chains in their wake, tore us from home, left sorrow and ache. Yet the spirit stayed unshaken strong, a fire inside that still burns on. We rise, we fight, we stand as one. Through the darkest night we chase the sun. Every tear, every train, every shattered dream, we rebuild, we believe, we reign supreme. Fields of sorrow, hands in pain, built the world yet bore no gain. Sung our songs through blood and sweat, dreaming of days we'd rise up yet. From the cotton fields to the railroad tracks, the whips and wounds we never turned back. Harrying land, Tubman led, freedom called, we forge ahead. We rise, we fight, we stand as one. Through the darkest night we chase the sun. Every tear, every train, every shattered dream, we rebuild, we believe, we reign supreme. Oh, we rise, we fight, we stand as one. Through the darkest night we chase the sun. Every tear, every chain, every shattered dream, we rebuild, we believe, we reign supreme. Fields of sorrow, hands in pain, built the world yet bore no gain. Sung our songs through blood and sweat, dreaming of days we'd rise up yet. We rise, we fight, we stand as one. Through the darkest night we chase the sun. Every tear, every chain, every shattered dream, we rebuild, we believe, we reign supreme. Oh, we rise, we fight, we stand as one. Through the darkest night we chase the sun. Every tear, every chain, every shattered dream, we rebuild, we believe, we reign supreme. Roses sat so we could stand, Martin marched to free this land. Malcolm spoke and the people knew our history shaped by what we do. We rise, we fight, we stand as one. Roses sat so we could stand. Through the darkest night we chase the sun. Martin marched to free this land. Every tear, every chain, every shattered dream, we rebuild, we believe, we rise supreme. Black history is more than pain. It's joy, it's love, it's breaking chains. Past the future, hear the call. We are here, we've conquered all.
From the motherland where the rivers run free, kings and queens ruled in majesty. Gold in our hands, wisdom untold, stories of empires carved in stone. But the ships came sailing, chains in their wake, tore us from home, left sorrow and ache. Yet the spirit stayed unshaken strong, a fire inside that still burns on. We rise, we fight, we stand as one. Through the darkest night we chase the sun. Every tear, every chain, every shattered dream, we rebuild, we believe, we reign supreme. Feel the sorrow,
Level on a
hands
Wecome.
in pain,
want to welcome,
Built the world,
you
yet
guys
for
to
no gain.
this all important
Sung
program.
our songs through blood and
Want all
sweat,
you folks
dreaming
to
of
log
days
on
we'd rise up
that we
yet.
can discuss the importance of
Yeah.
the service, the importance of
From the
this
cotton
program.
fields to the railroad
We'll
tracks,
also be
through whips and
discussing the
wounds, we
Black
never
History
turned
Month
back.
and
Harriet
significance
ran,
of the
Tubman
Black History
led,
Month.
freedom
I want
called, we
you to
forged
be
ahead.
part of this
We
all
rise,
important
we
program.
fight,
God
we
bless you.
stand as one. Through the darkest night, we chase the sun. Every tear, every chain, every shattered dream, we rebuild, we believe, we reign supreme. Ooh, we reign supreme. Ooh. Oh, from the motherland down where the rivers run free, kings and queens ruled in majesty. Gold in our hands, wisdom untold, stories of empires carved. From the motherland where the rivers. From the motherland where the rivers run free, kings and queens ruled in majesty. Gold in our hands, wisdom untold, stories of empires carved in stone. But the ships came sailing, chains in the wake, tore us from home, left sorrow and ache. Yet the spirit stayed unshaken, strong, a fire inside that still burns on. We rise, we fight, we stand as one. Through the darkest night, we chase the sun. Every tear, every chain, every shattered dream, we rebuild, we believe, we reign supreme. Oh, 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 oh. Fields of sorrow, hands in pain, built the world, yet bore no gain. Sung our songs through blood and sweat, dreaming of days we'd rise up yet. From the cotton fields to the railroad tracks, the whips and wolves, we never turned back. Harriet ran, Tubman led, freedom called, we forged ahead. We rise, we fight, we stand as one. Through the darkest night, we chase the sun. Every tear, every chain, every shattered dream, we rebuild, we believe, we reign supreme.
Well, that was the echoes of our ancestors. We want to welcome you. We want Debbie. Can you hear me? Look at you now.
Yes, sir, I can.
What's going on?
I hear you. You're very clear.
Okay. No, Bruce. I know
Uh,
Bruce want to be on our show. That's why he doing all of that. Okay,
yeah.
we want to welcome you again, folks. This is we are in the Black History Month, and we're gonna be. You see, anytime you see me at this like this, that means this represents something with mine. Oh, you know what I'm saying? All this thing, yeah. So because I'm a typical African, very proud of my identity. I don't care how they say what that and this and that. I'm very proud of who I am, and I'm going to remain like that until I die. So we want to welcome you, Debbie. This is the Global Prayer Network live broadcast from Burlington, New Jersey, Sub Jersey. We are broadcasting from Sub Jersey. Is that North Jersey? We Sub Jersey, North Jersey, North Jersey. So, okay, I hear him. Well, I will talk. Just relax yourself. I will take care of that. So we want to look at few stuff here that I did or carry on some research on, and we're going to be discussing that. Uh, I'm sorry I didn't put the number out there because I don't see people calling to give to give their contribution or to comment on what we are discussing. Or however, as we grow in this industry, we believe that things going to get better gradually by the grace of God. So you want to welcome me, like I said, and my co-host is my own daughter Debbie. She's been with me from last year, and I believe in God that we will end this together by the grace of God. Amen. And we're gonna be discussing as we are in the Black History Month. We're gonna be looking at some things that is more vital and to the black community and the black society in general, especially in America and other diaspora like Europe and whatever it is. So we want to first of all, Debbie, you got anything to say before I can?
No, you're okay. I just wanted to, tell everybody it's Black History Month, and this show is gonna be all about Black History Month. Gonna be led by our own one and only Bishop. So take the lead. Thank you.
You're welcome. So as we know, that Black History Month emerged from a broader effort to recognize and celebrate the contribution of Black individuals in shaping history, particularly in the United States. So, and then I did break this down into several parts that brought us where we are today in Black History Month. First of all, we want to look at the eraser of black blood contribution. There were some folks who gathered together to erase the Black History Month, to erase what our ancestor contributed to America or to the Western world in general, what they contributed, and who then tried to erase it, the contribution made by our ancestors. So we say for centuries, Black peoples contribution to history, science, culture, and politics were overlooked or internationally omitted from mainstream narrative. Slave trade, segregation, and systematic racism led to the migration of Black achievement. So these are factors that led to the migration of Black achievement. Okay, so let us consider some factors, some figure that fought or that tried to erase the recognition or the contribution of blacks within the Western world. So we look at Carter, there's Carter G. Woodson, and the birth of Negro history. So that was in the 1926 when Carter G. Woodson and the birth of the Negro history, which was established, or the History Week, the Black History Week, that was in 1926. The Black History Week was established, and the Black History Week was established by Carter G. Woodson, and the birth of the Negro History Week, called that the birth of the Negro History Week. That was in 1926 when Carter or Woodson and who established the Negro History Week. And so Dr. Carter Woodson, often called the father of Black history, was a historian who founded the Association for the Study of Negro Life, who founded the Association of the Study of Negro Life and History. They called that ASNLH in the 1915. He established that movement, the Association of the Negro Life and historical and the history of Negro. He's established that, and that was established. He established that 1915. So upon establishing that, also he believed that Black Americans needed to understand their historical contribution to gain self-respect and challenge racist narrative. So I believe that the sole purpose of Dr. Carter establishing the Association for the Negro Study of Life and History was to what, to counter racism, that the Black will understand how you slave they are contributed to the Western world. So he established that society to teach the Black folks, to teach us. Today we are reading it. So now we are learning how we contributed to the society, even to fight the racism. Okay, they were one of the sole purpose that Carter established the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History in 1915. So he believed that the Black Americans needed to understand their historical contribution to gain self-respect and what, challenge racism and racism narrative. So in 1926, Woodson launched Negro History Week, choosing the second week of February to coincide with Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass' birthday. It was one of the reasons that they took the second week of February to be the Black History Month. Okay, to be the Black History Month because he wanted this to coincide with Abraham and Douglas's birthday, and that was in 1926. So, if you are just joining us, I want you to share this video, comment, give your contribution in the best possible way. Share it with your friends, share it with your loved one, and tag people. Before I can go to the next slide, let me tag some people, highlight this video and tag some people in it. Let me highlight it and tag people before we can go ahead. Uh, yep. Mm, yep. Okay, there you go. There you go. Okay, like I was saying, in 1926, Wisdom launched Negro History Week, choosing the second week of February to coincide with Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass' birthday. Okay, so we understand. Then we come to the civil rights movement and push for recognition. How the civil rights movement was pushed to be recognized. So we see the civil rights movement and push for recognition. So by the 1960s, we say by the 1960s, the civil rights movement emphasized Black pride, history, and identity. Activists and educators began expanding Negro History Week into broader celebration of Black history. So the strategy Carter, Dr. Carter, and other Black activists used to push the agenda of the African American. And one thing that they did use was the birth week of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass to push the agenda of the Negro Week within the system, and they fought their way out, they fought their way through, and it came to the place today, and that was in the 1960s. So we said that in 1960s, the civil rights movement emphasized Black pride, history, and identity. So they emphasized the Black pride and identity to be identified. So they pushed that to be recognized. Okay. So the recognition of the civil rights movement was to push their way through the system that they will be recognized as they are recognized today. So we understand college and university started recognizing Black History Month. So the first group of people that started recognizing the Black History Month was colleges and university. Okay, the Black History Month was colleges and university that started recognizing, because first of all, when Carter established that association of Negro institution, that we will read our history. So I believe that it entered into colleges and university. So they started recognizing and giving recognition to the Black movement, the civil rights movement. So recognition became of the civil rights movement and the Black History Month in colleges and university by Dr. Carter Woodson. So the official recognition of the Black History Month was in 1976. The official recognition of the Black History Month was recognized in 1976. So we say in 1976, during the U.S. bicentennial, President Gerald Ford officially recognized Black History Month, urging Americans to honor that often overlooked achievement of Black individuals. Since 1976, from 1976, during the bicentennial of the United States of America, President Ford officially recognized, and in his speech, he told the Americans, he told the whole world, because once the president is addressing Congress or addressing the people of America, he's addressing the whole world. So he said they should recognize the work that the Black people have done in this country. They should recognize. There must be a recognition. That's how people started recognizing the the civil rights movement and other things in America. Debbie, you got anything to add before I can move on?
Bruce is making a little bit of noise in the back, but I
Go
think
ahead.
so far you basically express the how it started, and that's important. So if you continue, I can add on. Please don't give me a chance. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
He won't. No, that's okay. He won't give him mom chance, but I will do that. So we say since then it has been observed annually in February in the United States and October in the UK. So when President Ford announced the recognition of the Black History Month, or it had been recognized in America in February and in October in the Europe in UK. So the Black History Month is recognized across the Western world. So we say other countries that look at global, we want to look at global expansion of the Black History Month. The global expansion, other countries including Canada, that was 1995, 1995, the United Kingdom 1987, and the Germany began recognizing Black History Month in 1987. So it became an opportunity to reflect on the African diaspora's impact worldwide. So why it matters today. Let me put the number on there. If you want to contribute, you can call that number why it matters today. Why the Black History Month matters today. If you have any, let me change let me change the Helen right here. If you have any contribution to me, I'm going to put a number up there so that you can contribute. The number to contribute is 856 359 0922. For any contribution, the number is there. So make use of the number and call if you have anything to to contribute to our discussion and our topic here today in the Black History Month. So why it matters today, why the Black History Month matters today, why it matters today. So we want to consider some factors. Why it matters today. So Black History Month continues to address gaps in historical education. It highlights Black leaders, inventors, activists, and trailblazers who have shaped various fields. So it fosters awareness of ritual injustice and systematic inequality. That's why it matters today, because we have to address all of these issues that the Black History must continue to address. The gaps in historical education. It fosters awareness of ritual injustice and systematic inequality. Okay, so we want to look at right now. We have just laid a foundation how our Black History Month came about, or where it started from, who recognized it, and how long it took how long it took for it to be recognized in the great United States. So we want to look at the civilization and the early Black achievement. Okay, we want to consider African civilization and the early Black achievement. So before the European colonization and the transatlantic slave trade, Africa was home to powerful civilization that made significant contribution to science, agriculture, trade, and governance. So before the great Atlantic slave trade, we understand that before the great Atlantic slave trade, we understand that Africa African civilization and the early blacks' achievement. So before European colonization and the transatlantic slave trade, Africa was home to powerful civilization that made significant contribution to science, agriculture, trade, and governance. So that's how we were. We understood what agriculture, what or science, and all of these things, agriculture, trade, and governance. We understood all of these things were part of our civilization prior to the Atlantic slave trade, prior to the how you call it, prior to the European colonization. So we were already into civilization. We understood our agriculture, trade, and proper governance in those days before the transatlantic slave trade. So we want to consider what we call ancient African civilization and that is Egypt. So ancient Egypt in the 3100 BCE to 30 BCE, known for advanced mathematics, medicine, and construction of the pyramid. You see, so when we talk about when we discuss about the Asian civilization, we talk about Egypt. Okay, the ancient Egypt, and that was in 3100 BC to 30 BCE, when the ancient Egypt were well known for the mathematical skill, the medicine skill, and the construction of the pyramid. So we have civilization was already in full swing in Egypt, or in, because Egypt is Africa, in full swing in Egypt. So we knew about construction, we knew about mathematics, we knew about medicine. Okay, so all of these things generated from Africa and brought to Europe. Okay, so then we want to consider the kingdom of Kush. That was 1070 BCE to 350 CE. So a Nubian empire that ruled parts of Egypt and had vast wealth. That was Malay. We talk about Malay Empire, 1235 to 16,000. Mensa Musa, its ruler, was one of the wealthiest individual in history. Okay, one of the wealthiest individual in history was Mensa Kanga Musa, according to history, and that was in 12,035 to the 1600. Mensa Musa, its ruler, was one of the wealthiest individual in history, and the empire was a center of learning in Timbuktu. You see it? So we have all of these things in Africa. Who destroyed them? Who destroyed these things that we have in Africa? Who destroyed this institution? Who destroyed these learning institutions? These places that we built in Africa. Who destroyed them? Who destroyed them? Because we always said that civilization started in Africa. Okay, we have all of these what-if men who built institutions and was taking care of their people. But who went there and destroyed this institution that was built by our ancestors? Okay, so we look at the kingdom of Kush. You said 1017 and all the way up there. I just left that. So then we look at the Benin kingdom. That was 1180 to the 1897. So famous, he was one, a major trade, the Benin kingdom, famous for its sophisticated bronze structure and what? Advanced governance. So African, we understand what they call governance those days. Okay, Benin kingdom, that time it was called Benin kingdom. Okay, they were famous for its sophisticated bronze and the way the structure, the way the structure was built. Okay, advanced governance, so they knew how to govern. Oh, this is always a democracy that good for Africa. Because how these folks were governing their kingdom. How were they governing their kingdom? And people were the people were pleased in the kingdom of the governing of the kingdom. You understand? And that was the Benin kingdom. They were well known for good governance in their kingdom. But they carry democracy and destroy everything. The democracy they carry, our African leaders, they say that only they're so corrupt, and they corrupt their own people. And I want to let me take it down to our own Liberian people. What have we seen a normal country? A normal country. If the authority no more in that country, would they allow their children to be living in graveyard? In a normal setting, a normal society, does that make any sense for authority to allow people to live among the dead? Does that make any sense? So the system that we find ourselves in today is so corrupt. It's so corrupt that we are not waking up. We are not waking up to put hands around our people. When you are telling me that the Benin kingdom in 1000 in 1180 to 1897. They are telling you they were famous for a sophisticated bronze sculpture and advance in governance. So what happened in Africa today? We can't govern. What happened? What going on wrong that we cannot, the black men today in power in Africa, we leading our people. There is no good governance in our country. Look at Nigeria, that's supposed to be Africa, West Africa superpower. Look what happening in Nigeria. She's supposed to be West Africa superpower. That people from around Nigeria should be running to Nigeria for greener pasture. Why? Because today of bad governance. But they are telling us in 1800 to 1897, they were well sophisticated for the Bronx sculpture and advanced in good governance. But what happened now? The one that went to school. Okay, that's what I want to talk about. My own country, Liberia. How can we sit? What kind of, that one President Trump said a normal country will not sit down and be teaching your children and telling the children in school that you are trapped in the wrong body. He said a serious country will never go there. A normal country, under no circumstances, will be teaching that children or sons and daughters in school say that you are trapped in the wrong body, you are trapped in the wrong cell. Liberia, a normal country, under normal circumstances, will sit there and allow children to live in a grave. But when we get Donald Trump coming for you, he cutting all let me see what you will do. All the money they gave you people from Charlie Clinton, from JF Kennedy time, they've been giving to Liberia. What have we done? We so corrupt. We think on nothing but me, myself, and my children. Me, myself, and my family. We so corrupt. What have they done? All the money, all the aid United States have been giving to that country. But rather they sat down and burned their own capital building. And they're standing back now for money to come in for them to build it. I think I support Donald Trump on that one. Whoever aid and let them prove themselves that they are capable of giving their people good governance. Then you can step in with that one to say, okay, we'll release aid, we'll release funding for all of these African nations. You understand? We can't treat our people like that. The first thing as a normal country, you will start to fight to build institutions to take these folks for in the grave. Okay? Representative every day they go to Capitol building, they fighting one another, cursing one another, man. Those days, when we were coming up, those days, when they said this man a senator in Liberia, this man a representative, you will fall our hands, stay across the street and watching our senators and representatives those days. But look what we get in our country. Then we're talking about in the 1800s, there was good governance in Africa. And we're talking about the Benin Kingdom. Man, I'm tired, man. Okay, now look at Mali. Mali Empire, 1235 to okay, I just got through with Mali, got through with Benin. Then we want to look at the Great Zambia. Okay, we're looking at the civilization where it started from in the Black History Month. What our ancestors did in the country prior to the Atlantic slave trade, prior to the British colonization and the Atlantic slave trade. What happened? That's why we're looking at what was going on in Africa. What was going on in Africa in terms of civilization. You understand? So I just talked about Mali Empire, Benin Kingdom. Then we say the Great Zambia. Then look at Zambia. What was the factors of what was the contributing factors of Zambia civilization? When we say great, I'm sorry, Zimbabwe, Great Zimbabwe. So it was 1100 to 1450 CE. So a major trade empire with impressive stone agriculture. They were doing major. The major agriculture was the major architectural was trade with impressive stone architecture. So this civilization countered the false narrative that African society were primitive before European colonization. So they were lying to us. Those that went down to take our people from Africa, they brought them here and they keep lying to us They said there was no civilization in Africa. There was nothing. We were primitive, but a lie. That's blinking lie. Civilization started from Africa. You went and saw what they were doing. You conquered. You brought them here forcibly, and now you brought them. You wanted to kill the dream and vision that they were nothing. But thank God for President Ford, who caused all the world to recognize Black History Month. So we want to look at the transatlantic. I ain't got more time here. We want to look at the transatlantic slave trade, the 1500 and to the 1800. Millions of Africans were forcibly taken to America, primarily to work on plantation. So the transatlantic slave trade that was in the 15 to the 1800, they went to Africa, they snatched them and brought them, forcibly taken from Africa. They brought them to work on plantation. They brought them to work on plantation. They brought them to do the work that the typical Western man can do. They brought them to do it. Okay. So we said European powers, that was Britain, the European power those days were Britain, Portugal, Spain, France, and etc. So profited. These are people that profited from the trans-American slave trans or Atlantic slave trade. European power, Britain, Portugal, Spain, France, etc. profited massively from the trade of enslaved African. Now what I wanted to go Burkina Faso and Niger, they kick the butt from there. Burkina Faso guys in New York ain't coming here. We tired with your crap. Y'all do this to us and y'all want to marginalize us. We're not benefiting, it's not happening. You pack your bag and go. We are independent now. So they try to kill what our civilization brought. They try to kill us not to do it. So it should remain in the Western world to say, oh, this thing, it came from the Western, but it was not so. Okay? So now people are waking up. The African leaders, some of them are waking up and saying, no, this can't happen anymore. We got to be there for our people. We got to count this on and see what we can do for our people. You're not coming to take granite and give it to us. We're not accepting granite anymore. So if you want to come invest here, you must invest here. Everybody needs somebody. The Bible says, no man is an island. No man stands alone. Every man is my friend. Every man is my brother. You scratch my head, I'll scratch your back. If you give me, I give you. Everybody needs somebody. No matter what it may be, everybody needs somebody. You can't stay alone. No man is an island. No man stands alone. Every man is my brother and every man is my friend. So you couldn't have. Wow. You couldn't have destroy our heritage. You couldn't do that. They fought to destroy our heritage. They fought to marginalize us, not to be recognized.
Yeah, I
But that
agree.
couldn't work. Eh?
No, I said honestly, Bishop, that's a great point. Sorry, my son he's giving
Yeah,
me a
go
hard
ahead.
time, but that's why my camera's off. But I feel like with everything you're saying and all the research you did, what I'm getting from it is, the world was built on slavery,
Mm-hmm.
right? They capitalized on that. And like they created boundaries for African descendant and Africans, for people, for us to not escape that from that. So it become difficult for us, and with our leaders, it's all in the mindset. Like you said, they're corrupt and they allow these people to exploit us. So even here with Black History Month and everything that we've been through and everything that African American descendants have been through with the slavery, we're still in bondage. There's still generational curses that is upon us, that they built the system in a way for us to stay in bondage, for us to
Yeah.
remain in a box. And that's also in our country, in Liberia, in Gambia, in all of these countries you're listing. because it was just built like that. It didn't favor us. So even here, even like the housing market, when the Great Migration happened in 19, I think in the 19th century, they built a system where I think I read somewhere where they will map out like the housing market, and then they will highlight it red for the areas that black families were at, because that'll tell the market that, okay, don't rent out to these people because they believe
Wow.
that black people will devalue their properties. So they would
Hmm.
intentionally put things in the system to hinder us from benefiting from the economy that they use us. Like, for example, they enslave us, like the cotton
Hmm.
fields, right? They
Hmm.
enslave us to work on those plantation farms, and then they were getting money in exchange for it. But then imagine a slave that's working there had to kind of buy his own freedom, or
Hmm.
buy, let's say if I was a slave, right, and my wife is
Hmm.
working there, I will work to just buy my wife freedom to spend time with her. And then
Hmm.
that money that they're using is benefiting our economy, but then it doesn't benefit us. So although we're free after the emancipation, after the civil rights movement, we're still not free to today. There's system, it's like a structure, systematic racism and inequality that are affecting
Hmm.
us. So Black History Month is very important because it affects everybody around the world, right? Like
Hmm.
you said, it's basically, and I think somebody said you wrote a book about it, about
Yeah, I wrote a
African
book.
American and bondage, and how
The
I think it was
African
Patient that told
American,
me
the
that.
ancestral spirit.
Yeah, so I feel like those slave masters
Hmm.
kind of connecting back what we talked about last night, like in our service, in
Hmm.
our prayer, like these spirits of defilement. Slavery is a spirit that still lingers now, and we
Hmm.
see in
Hmm.
everything, the housing market, our healthcare, just like income. White people make more. There's a lot of black in jail. Are in all areas we have it the worst. So I just
Hmm.
want to stop there because I know we're on a strict time and let you continue. But everything you were saying, that's what I was
Amen.
thinking. Like,
Oh, okay.
everything is put in place for us to stay in bondage.
To stay in bondage. Wow. Thank you, my daughter. Very powerful. Very, very powerful. So we understand that what we call systematic racism. Okay. So after they did that, they fought the black people to be recognized. They fought them for recognition. All around, they fought them. Okay. So we talk about the condition of slavery were brutal, involving forced labor, family separation, and violent oppression. Let me tell you something from a biblical standpoint. I listen. My wife and I was watching after the football game. My wife and I were watching one renowned preacher, one humble preacher, and he did mention about Genesis chapter 3, where God created man in his own image and after his likeness. He said something that the clay that God took, I'm just paraphrasing, the clay that God took from the ground to mold man, was it different from the clay that he made me with, or made the white man or the black man? Was there any different clay, special clay that he made those people who think they are so racist and better than other people? Okay, who think they are better? Was the clay that God was molding, the clay that God molded you with? Was it a golden clay? Was it a special clay that He will put you on the face of the earth and in your mind, and you thinking that you better than the black man or you better than the white man? But it was the same clay that God molded everybody on the face of the earth. The Bible said God said to the host of heaven, let us make man in our own image and after our likeness. God did not say, let us make black man, let us make white man. God said, let us make man in our image and after our own likeness. So the clay that God molded me with, I don't think that clay is different from the clay that he made you with. So I don't know why people would think in their mind that they are better than other people. If anyone who thinks that way, then you are going to your early grave. You are heading to destruction. Okay, because if you love your, the Bible said, if you love God, you love your neighbor. Love your neighbor. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Love your fellow man as you love yourself. So don't keep in your mind that you're better than anybody. That girl can even be a prostitute in the corner, standing at the corner store. You're not better than her. That guy could be an armed robber. You're not better than him. That guy could be a drugs addict. You're not better than him. The seed clay that God took from the dust and molded you, that is seed clay he took from the ground and molded me. So you're not better than me. I'm not better than you. This is why I got problem with people who thinks they are better than somebody, who thinks that they are superior over people. And the CO clay that God took from the day, from the ground, was the CO clay that he made you and I today. We are breathing. So I don't know why people would think that they are better than somebody.
Wow.
Our people, no, you're not. You know what? Yeah, you're not better than
Yeah, that's
anybody.
powerful. Yeah, we're built from the same dirt. It's not even
We're
clay.
built from the same day.
Yeah, so
Okay,
I
the
love that.
clay. It was not. The Bible did not specify. Oh, I made wafer roller with golden clay. I made or Debbie with silver clay. Okay, I don't know why people will be so stupid. And when you die, you think where you going? You going in the grave. The
Yeah.
clay, the where we talking for, where God talking for, there where you are heading to. So never you in your mind think that you are better than somebody. This is why I hate. I go against anybody who think in the mind they are better than people. This is why I get along with everybody, because I think that we are all the same. No matter what of your status. But before God, we are all the same. Never look down on anybody, because we all came from the same clay. There was no blue clay. There was no red clay. The Bible did not specify purple clay, golden clay, silver clay, and all that kind of wash clay. But it was the clay that came from the dirt, from the ground. Man. So we said the condition. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I apologize for interrupting. But just to add on what you said, the Bible teaches us that all people are created in God's image and all are equal in value. Like he even shows, like it shows how God hates racism and other sins, and how Jesus can restore people to God and for us to teach others. So I don't understand. I love how you're connecting it back to the Bible, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, my daughter. So we said the condition of slavery were brutal. You understand? Involving forced labor, family separation, and violent oppression. How you treat somebody that God made like that. Okay. So black resistance and abolition movement. Okay, in the 18th to in the 17th to the 1900s. Okay, we call that the Toussaint Louverture and the Haitian Revolution. The first successful slave revolt that led to Haiti's independence. Frederick Douglass, an escaped slave who became a leading abolitionist and orator in the U.S. Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad helped enslaved people escape to freedom. Abolition of slave trade, Britain in 1833, U.S. 1865, and other nations abolished slave trade after years of struggle. Reconstruction and Jim Crow Iraq. The Jim Crow era was 1865 to the 1950. After slave trade was abolished in the U.S., African American gained political power during Reconstruction in 1865 and 1877. So we call that the HBCU. Historically, black colleges and universities were funded to provide education to black students. So you brought us here. You use us. You only want to dump us. We shouldn't get educated. But there's a black girl, they call her, what her name said, you know, they get from Texas. They represented the Crockett. That girl is very powerful. She's a black girl. You can't keep the black community silent. You can't, because majority of them, they are genius, because our civilization started from our hometown, from Africa. So then we look at however white supremacist law, Jim Crow enforced segregation and limited black rights. The Great Migration 1916 to 1970 so millions of black Americans moved from the south to northern cities for better opportunities. So after this guy called Jim Crow, who enforced segregation and limited black rights. The blacks moved. The migration was in the 1916 to 1970. They left the south and came to the northern side to find greener pasture. So we want to stop here this evening because of our prayer time. We will continue this because we are still in the Black History Month. So next week we'll be talking about the Harlem Renaissance, the Harlem Renaissance. That was the 1920s to the 1930s, a cultural movement centered in Harlem, New York, where black activists, writers, and musicians flourished. We will discuss about that next year, the Harlem Renaissance Center. So we'll discuss about that next week. We want you to keep us in your prayer, so that we can bring all of this research and so that we can discuss them together. I don't know why people don't love to call to give their input or do a research, give your input next week, and we will be here. But before we can go, let us take something for the Black History Month, our album.
Amen.
From the motherland where the rivers run free, kings and queens ruled in majesty. Gold in our hands, wisdom untold, stories of empires carved in stone. But the ships came sailing, chains in their wake, tore us from home, left sorrow and ache. Yet the spirit stayed unshaken, strong, a fire inside that still burns on. We rise, we fight, we stand as one. Through the darkest night, we chase the sun. Every tear, every chain, every shattered dream, we rebuild, we believe, we reign supreme. Fields of sorrow, hands in pain, built the world yet bore no gain. Sung our songs through blood and sweat, dreaming of days we rise up yet. From the cotton fields to the railroad tracks, through whips and wounds we never turned back. Harriet ran, Tubman led, freedom called, we forged ahead. We rise, we fight, we stand as one. Through the darkest night we chase the sun. Every tear, every chain, every shattered dream, we rebuild, we believe, we reign supreme. Roses suffered, hands in pain, built the world yet bore no gain. Sung our songs through blood and sweat, dreaming of days we rise up yet. Roses sat so we could stand, Martin marched to free this land. Malcolm spoke and the people knew, our history shaped by what we do. We rise, we fight, we stand as one. Through the darkest night we chase the sun. Every tear, every chain, every shattered dream, we rebuild, we believe, we reign supreme. Black history is more than pain, it's joy, it's love, it's breaking chains. Past to future, hear the call. We are here, we've conquered all. Don't care what your man, don't care what she's doing, keep it over. From the motherland, where the rivers run free, kings and queens ruled in majesty. Gold in our hands, wisdom untold, stories of empires carved in stone. But the ships came sailing, chains in their wake, tore us from home, left sorrow and ache. Yet the spirit stayed unshaken, strong, a fire inside that still burns on. We rise, we fight, we stand as one. Through the darkest night, we chase the sun. Every tear, every chain, every shattered dream, we rebuild, we believe, we reign supreme. Fields of sorrow, hands in pain, built the world yet bore no gain. Sung our songs through blood and sweat, dreaming of days we'd rise up yet. From the cotton fields to the railroad tracks, through whips and wounds we never turned back. Harriet ran, Tubman led, freedom called, we forged ahead. We rise, we fight, we stand as one. Through the darkest night we chase the sun. Every tear, every chain, every shattered dream,